one thing that I think we can talk about, and chat's kind of getting on it already, is narration. Because
Yep.
the thing is, we won't really know if they're doing narration, one, unless they make an announcement, or two, until Shibuya. Because the
Yeah.
hidden inventory arc doesn't rely on it that much, right? It just doesn't. We get one narrated moment when Gojo is using red on Toji for the first time,
But
but like
that's kind
that's
of like
it's so
monologue.
minuscule.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so minuscule that literally Gojo or like both of them could be thinking about that, because both of them, but honestly, yeah, that one is not even, like I said, it barely constitutes a narration to begin with. So unless they make an explicit announcement that we are continuing the trend of not doing narration, we simply won't know if they're doing it or not until Gojo pops off with the point two domain, and we either hear like some narrator talk or we fucking don't.
Yeah.
And
But
eh,
they could always pull like a Nanami honored one moment, I guess, like they did in the first season, which, as
yeah,
we've established many times on this podcast, we're not huge fans of, but I guess it's like better than nothing, which Gege
yeah,
seems to
like
insist
the
upon.
yeah. So the thing is like the content being it. Here's the thing: certain story elements, simply put, cannot work without that information. You have to convey that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the point two. That's not the point two domain is not intuitive enough for you to see it and then completely understand it. It just doesn't work. Naobito's technique doesn't work unless you have that narration.
Mm-hmm.
Toji's revival does not work unless you have that narration, right? Certain character moments, simply put, don't hit as hard. And this part comes more to like subjectivity, but I don't think they hit as hard unless you have that narration. And the thing is, Landa, you bring up a point, I remember you mentioning it in streams past, like having Naobito do it, and that's fine, that's cool, that's whatever. Like I like definitely is if he's bent on no narrator, that's cool, fine, get the job done, get me the information. But there's something to be said about like this arbiter of like knowledge or whatever with a cool voice just telling us shit. I don't know. To me, it's like
It's
it's
hard,
cool
bro.
in
It
certain
adds
moments
a
like
lot.
that.
Yeah.
It's hard in
Um,
moments like that.
and with JJK, like the narration, just it's so good, right?
Yeah.
It adds a lot of like and when you make the characters say it in place of a narrator, it kind of cheapens it because they're not as reliable as like an indifferent, omniscient,
Yeah.
writing tool, because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's that character saying it, right? Because
Mhm.
the controversy, let's say with the Nanami thing, calling Sukuna the honored one, it's like, how the fuck would he know that? like,
Yeah, he
like
he doesn't. Yeah,
like
it's kind of like what? Okay,
like he
and
lives
it
only
even
by his
even
own
then,
pleasure and displeasure. How do you
yeah,
know? Huh? Like,
yeah. What you got Sukun on the
on his
phone or some
phone?
shit,
Yeah,
bro? And bro called him up and said, "Hey, do you care about anything but your pleasure and displeasure? Just so
like
I can
what?
know to write it down. Like, what are we doing? What are we cooking right now?" And it just kind of like recontextualizes like even the like I don't know. There's something, and once again, I'm a fucking JJK nerd, obviously, so maybe I'm just thinking about it too much. But there's something cooler about like essentially just the truth telling you that he's the honored one versus like someone's opinion.
Yeah, and
It's like,
with Gojo's
yeah,
honored one moment specifically, like him saying it was also huge in that. The my reading of it has always been, and this is a little subjective creams moment here. Uh,
mm,
Gojo's awakening, in part, was a kind of like he scanned the entire world and he was like, no, it's just me.
yeah,
Like the six eyes like went fucking a sicko mode, and they were like, nah, dude, we're it's us. Like I'm him.
yeah. The one thing is like, and this would be something they would have to done from season one, but having Kenjaku narrate shit because he probably does know most of the things that are happening. Like for the point two, if you're not gonna have like an outside narrator do it, Kenjaku's probably the one you have to have say it. Unless Gojo's going to be saying, "I did a point two domain expansion" in the hopes of like it's like, eh,
Relax.
the
Let's
sparks
dial it
of
back.
black, dude. That's the thing though.
Ooh.
The crazy thing is, what's insane. That's gonna hit regardless, right? But like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have the what's the word I'm looking for? So when it says the sparks of black don't choose who they bless, right? That directly contrasts like what the narrator
Narrator
says
says, right, and
in
what
the
Yuji's
earlier,
doing. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like because we didn't have that in season one, it's like Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. With the Nobara UG Double Black Flash, the music did really hit with the timing where I'm like, I almost forgot that we needed narration there. I didn't, but I almost did. Um, and like, I just don't know if they're gonna music their way out of a lot of these, man. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I'm
these
very
fighters
excited.
were all functioning at 120% of
120% of
their
their own
potential.
potential. Yeah, dude, and
It's
that
like,
spread,
come on,
bro, and
bro.
that spread
Who's
went
gonna say that?
crazy.
Who's gonna say that, bro? Like, who's gonna do it? Who? Tell me. Like, come on now. Come on now, man. We need the narrator. I need somebody who's been trained since birth to deliver these lines in the hardest way imaginable.